Welcome back, everybody, here to the ESL 1 New York Southeast Asia qualifiers. We're going in to Team B. Hopefully not picking Templar Assassin in the first two. Going up against TNC, who had a earlier than 20-minute GG game.
Let's see if the B team can step it up to the A team, all right?
It's the dream.
They've been #1.
But they're the B team for a reason, maybe.
I mean, that was such a bad draft. So what you look at from a positive side of that is that the draft was like, it determined so much of the game that you didn't actually get to see B team in action, right? Like, they just shot themselves in the foot and then still tried to have a gunfight. It's not going to go well, right? So let's reset, get into game number 2. If we see a better draft, like, we can actually see what B team is all about. But that game 1, it was such a crippling start to them that you didn't actually get to see the team in any way. So game 2 will hopefully decide a lot more for us. I'm sure DJ kind of realizes the faults that were in that game 1.
Gonna quickly turn something off as for some reason through all of the resets that I've had, my in-game Steam decided to turn back on again.
Oh yes, it's been doing that. It's really weird.
So for everyone out there who didn't get the PSA, don't hit play, which is fine enough what you need to hit.
Yeah, if you want to play Dota 2, don't hit play.
Because every player, every caster right now, it's like Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might blow up.
This is actually what we have to go through, right? So we join Dota 2, we hit the play tab, Dota 2 survives. We join the lobby, we get into the game, it starts, the game server dies. So then we have to go and hit the play tab again in order to rejoin the lobby, but this time Dota 2 dies. It's like everything's breaking. Everything is breaking with Dota 2 right now.
Circle of crash.
It's pretty terrible.
10 seconds remaining.
But Reborn's coming. That looks amazing, so
5 seconds remaining.
it's coming soon.
Reserve time.
Of course, it's Valve time, so who knows?
Oh, Valve up, please.
Soon, 2016.
It's not that far away, actually.
I mean, that would be 3 months. Imagine for 3 months you had to deal with this bug, though. For 3 months, every single time you hit the play tab, it was like a 50-50 shot at Dota 2 would die.
The funny thing is, though, like Wick tweeted out saying this is the last patch to the current client. I wonder if that means if they'll actually bug fix, or if this is the last major patch
if they're like,
to the client.
Do we need to fix it, or can we just push Reborn? Can we just like hold out for like a day or two and then push Reborn?
I'm assuming a lot of things were actually broken to adapt them to Reborn. Is my assumption.
Yeah.
So we're on a skeleton system now. But don't worry. As long as you're tuning in, as long as your Dota is working, congratulations. You have a well-oiled machine.
Join Dota will find a way.
Still in beta.
Dota finds a way. Leshrac first pick. B team already off to a great start.
Are you actually trying to do song lyrics?
No.
Okay.
That was Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay. For a moment, it was Lion King 2.
Life finds a way. Anyway, Leshrac first pick. B team already with a great start. They've also got the Darkseer.
It's good laning. You can never go wrong with the Lesh. Like, it's really difficult to go wrong with the Lesh.
You actually can't. Like even like in TI, when in the highest profile games of ever, and evil geniuses have a plan where they give up Leshrac, and you know that they have a plan where they're giving up Leshrac, you still take Leshrac, and you're just like, well, it doesn't have to be our mid. Like, we can run an aggro dual lane with it, or it could be our safe lane here. Like, whatever. Leshrac is just like, it's the rainbow pony. You're like, what you gonna do? It's always gonna be strong.
At the same time, they did lose that game against C-Deck.
Yeah. But you know what? I think it was the right call. Like, if I was
C-Deck lost that game against EG.
Yeah, but if I was in that position, I'd be like, I mean, am I not going to take Leshrac, the most OP hero in the patch right now? No. All right. Dazzle for TNC.
This looks very familiar, apart from the Earthshaker. And, well...
Yeah, they basically swapped out kind of... Okay.
Yeah, they're trading heroes. The Darks here and the Naga just wish to remain on the Dire side, even though TNC moved to the Radiant side.
Yeah, I felt like TNC were essentially like swapping out like, oh, instead of the Darks here, we're going to get the Earthshaker instead, and they can run like Earthshaker off lane, and that could still be their kind of initiator. But then like B team are like, we're actually going to take your strat from game one away from you now.
I wonder if they actually try and run exactly the same strat. Because that would be
with
amusing.
Leshrac replacing Jakiro.
No, the Naga Darks here dual off lane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Leshrac could replace Jakiro. I'm not saying in the same role. I'm not talking like push strat. I'm just talking about like this dual off lane kind of scenario. Okay. Where it's like, well, they managed to do that in the last game, and let's just do it without practicing at all. Like, we just do it. Fundamentals are down. Either way, team fight looks really good for the B team.
Yeah, it looks good for both teams, really. There is, yeah, good call. Distinct lack of disables on the time of B team, but immediately they respond with the strongest. I think he is the strongest support against Storm Spirit Disruptor. I would usually throw Earthshaker in that role, but I feel like he's actually a stronger counter versus Storm Spirit when he's an offlaner. As a support, his Blink Dagger timing is so it fluctuates so much that he's not. I don't consider him the best hard counter. But Disruptor is like, you just have to get level 6 and you're good. So very good pickup. And they also have the opportunity for Leshrac to go Eul Scepter, which is also a way to counter the Storm Spirit, because then you get that guaranteed lockdown stun. Storm Spirit, I mean, if that happens, if Leshrac goes a Eul Scepter, and this game is not going like well for TNC, like if they're actually maybe losing the laning phase a little bit, this may be a Storm Spirit that's forced into like BKB first, which is such a terrible item. Much more likely he would go for like the Eul Scepter or something to try and get some minor saving item that still gives him progression in mana regeneration and mana pool. But
I like the Eul Scepter as well, because even if Leshrac does get a Eul Scepter, you just Eul yourself directly after.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the ability to get that stun instantly on the Storm Spirit before he can Eul's himself is...
Yeah, if you're inside of the Static Storm, you can at least like take a lot less damage by putting yourself in that tornado for a part of the Static Storm. The ideal scenario is that they Static Storm you, you immediately Eul Scepter, and then by the time you come back down, the kinetic field is either down or it's about to go down, and you just walk out. But it's still going to be a tough game for the Storm Spirit. If he does well early on, you'll probably still see him go for the Bloodstone. The Bloodstone Suicide is still a valuable way to deal with that kind of ganking pressure. And Doom.
That's not someone we see at all. Like, at all. He's never played. But he's going to be picked up. Like, if it's up against a Storm Spirit, I can understand it. Up against Leshrac,
they got to be going,
like, it's...
They got to be going aggro tri-lane, and this is their shoe-in to defeat Leshrac, I guess.
10 seconds remaining.
Wait, you're saying Doom in the aggro tri-lane?
No. Aggro tri-lane, Gyrocopter, Dazzle, Earthshaker.
Okay.
And then they run like Doom as a safe lane hero.
Up against the Darks here. So when the Iron Shells come in, he devours it.
Yeah, I guess he just
rid of it and just...
Yeah, and then he's also got the regeneration from Scorched Earth. So he'll eat one of the Ion Shells, and then the Scorched Earth will help him heal through the other.
And if life gets too hard, then they just move the Dazzle or the Earthshaker down there. More than likely just the Dazzle.
Doom is 1-8 in this patch. Oh my god.
What was the one game he won? Like, can we see that? It's
10 seconds remaining.
Wraith King.
Maybe not. Hello, Wraith King. Well, let's just keep mixing things up. Who wants to go with the standard?
So Yang won with it in the I-League qualifiers. That's the youth Vici gaming team.
Up against the newbie main team. Or newbie M team, which is the main team.
Yeah, they're the newbies.
They're like the 2 team, the 3 team even. Wow, okay. Yeah, so not the greatest success rate for the Doombringer.
No, that's...
And now you look at this, like,
Oh, that's right. Fluff tried to run it in the American qualifiers for TI. I forgot about that. Yeah, they tried to.
Seconds remaining.
And that was their way to defeat Leshrac as well. So maybe there's some potential. Maybe the idea is right. The last time it was run was in the Mars TV finals when Ice played it. And that did not go well for them. Vici Gaming lost that game against Cloud9 pretty hard. Yeah, Dota 2 is a weird game.
Sorry, I realize we've been showing the wrong casters.
Oh, has it been Cap and Blitz?
I am in fact not Blitz. No matter how much I want to be.
No Merlini's here today, boys.
Really? Is that what yesterday came down to?
I mean, that's what the chat fills up with nowadays. Every single time Blitz shows up on stream.
Really?
Yeah.
Why, it's... Oh, yeah. Well, everyone wants to be Merlini.
Alright.
So let's check this out. So we have the Dazzle as well as Earthshaker heading to the offlane. The Storm Spirits, he's built for bottle early on. But the Jara is going to be on the bot lane, and this Doombringer... What is his plan? Is this meant to be like... Is he going to head up towards the top, or is this meant to be like a hybrid jungle Doom? The Earthshaker, judging by his item build, he is most definitely not a core. So we got the 3 cores inside the Radiant jungle. We're about to run into the entire B team, and well, they start with the Storm on the Gyrocopter, which means they don't have a way to drag him back into the B team. No stuns, because that was also a Leshrac Lightning that was thrown out. So TNC should be counting their lucky stars they survived this.
Yeah, that was super awkward. They really should have been able to get that kill.
So it will be the Doom on the bottom lane. It's the Storm Spirit on the mid lane, and the Gyro on the top lane. Okay, everything will be going as we thought it should be going.
Yeah, the bigger question is, how does B team react to that?
Well, right now they're just doing standard lanes.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to try and challenge the tri-lane. They're going to run a defensive tri-lane against it. I thought they would actually
It's not even a full tri-lane, though, because the Dazzle is down here with the Doombringer. Like, they're going up against a dual lane.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
This Earthshaker is doing his old school, I sit at the back line, I throw a fissure when you get in trouble. While B team are trying to start with some early game aggression. So they're coming in with the Disruptor, who doesn't have Glimpse or Wall, and Nagasiren, who has Ensnare. So they have to get this Ensnare on Raven. They're able to do so with the Lightning Slow into the stump, waiting for that second level to come up on JE as Raven tries to make his way to the tree line, can't get there in time. So first blood will belong to Team B.
You know how dirty that is? Like, your mid laner is just... He's already facing a Leshrac. Like, that's bad enough. Like, 1 versus 1 against Leshrac. It's just... It's awful. Like, who wants to play that matchup? But then you have this gank that comes in. The thing was, Storm Spirit was positioned correctly. Like, he was actually holding to the bottom side of the map. Like, he should not have been hit by that ensnare. But Leshrac is Leshrac, and he's like, haha,
I have
long-range lightning bolt, lightning bolt. And he slows him down for 0.7 seconds, and that allows the ensnare to land, and then he's guaranteed dead from there.
I'm interested to see how this little combo on the bottom lane goes, and how long it actually goes for. Not the Naga Darkseer, but this Dazzle Doombringer. So Dazzle got a lot of space because Doombringer went into the jungle to grab himself a creep. He grabbed probably the one creep he never wanted to get, which is the Dark Troll Summoner.
He really wanted the regen creep.
Yeah. Regen creep or even the armor aura would have been nice. Like he picked up a couple of the armor himself. And now the Dazzle has to walk over. Like, if the Centaur had his attack speed still, I did look for that. Anything but what he's got. And actually, the Ensnare's going to go on the Dazzle. Second Iron Shell's in 3 seconds' time. But Dazzle's got an extra point, so he can Shallow Grave himself if required. And they're actually going to surge the Nagasiren down. Riptide's in 2 seconds' time, so he starts with a heal and almost did the Shallow Grave, but required, like, just held off a little bit for it. But that's both heroes now giving space to the Doombringer on bot
the
lane.
Leshrac. Oh, never mind. I forget it's a Storm Spirit. Like, maybe they still get it.
You got Fisher, and that's a haste rune on an Earthshaker. That's the one way to try and counter a Leshrac. Even dodging the stun, punches him down, and Leshrac now countered by haste rune.
Yeah, this was our. He was our Phantom Monster player, wasn't he? Last game, Jay, or however you say his name. The guy with the Zubu in his name.
The stand-in.
I thought he was. So I thought he was making the right plays last time.
We have him at least labeled in our system as Jed.
Jed? Okay. He made the right plays last time, but that was a really obvious, like, you don't get anywhere near that rune. Like, the moment he saw the Earthshaker or the haste rune, he immediately should have backed out.
But he gets caught out.
Yeah, and he loses his advantage that he had over the Storm Spirit. I mean, he still has an advantage because he's a Leshrac, and you're on even experience grounds, but...
Dude just triggers Scorch that's trying to outrun the Nagasaren. Actually, he can beat down the Nagasaren. He can ensnare him if he wants to as well. Actually, no, he can't. Just doesn't have the mana for it. And he body blocks up the Darkseer. He'll take a little bit more chip damage. Meanwhile, middle, the Dazzle's rotated in here to try and harass out the Leshrac. And up on top, the Earthshaker. It's Vision time into Rocket Barrage. And with a creep wave underneath the tower, the damage is almost enough. The range creep can't finish the job. Lucky's gone in pretty deep here. There's not enough mana to go for another Fissure. And with a Wraithfire Blast flying out, he's going to burn to death after one more attack here from Cirque. But the Gyrocopter can just walk in there with a Rocket Barrage and potentially grab himself a double kill.
Yeah, but there's still no way. There's no way this is worth it. The Earthshaker never should have YOLO'd in there.
But if the Gyro picks up a double solo kill,
I don't think
then
he's going.
Maybe.
I don't see how he does though. Like, he can run in and kill the Disruptor, yes, but there's no way in my mind that he's going to be able to kill the Wraith King. And then he's also, look at the creep wave. If he runs in and kills the Disruptor here, the creep wave will be gone. So when he leaves, he's going to take like 3 tower shots probably at the very minimum. So that burns through all of his regen.
But if he backs up now, the death is in vain.
I mean, that's unlucky. That's where you go like, hey, that's on you, man. You never should have run in the first place. I'm not gonna risk my position. Like, it's bad enough you're already throwing them a free kill. I'm not gonna throw my position in this game alongside yours.
You just like count your losses.
I mean, that's like, where pup play comes in, right? Everyone's experienced it. Everyone's got that YOLO teammate who like just runs in, and if you run in with him, like, okay, it's that scenario, right, where you're like, do I ride with him or do I die with him, right? Like, you go in and you go with him, maybe you can like make something miraculous happen, but if you don't go in with him, he's just feeding. And I would say in this scenario, you can't ride with him. You're both going to die, or it's just not going to be worth it.
I concur.
There's no miracle that's going to occur.
The only upside is the fact that no one else on B team has TPs that can come and join him on the top lane. It'll just be heroes and creep wave. And the next rating creep wave is still back at the tier 1 tower. If you can battle it out in the tree lines for 15 seconds, perfectly all right.
You know what I call those players, Toby?
Me?
Those players are called Leroy Jenkins.
Okay.
They just charge in. They think they're going to be a god, but you can see that they're just being dumb.
Well, let's see what happens. So, Gyro.
He's going for it.
Here we go.
Ride and die, baby.
He's actually going to find one kill. Right now, he's going to finish up the Disruptor, walk out to the side. He actually dodges the dire creep wave for it.
Yeah.
So at least it's a 1-1 trade-off.
Yeah, 1-1 trade-off, and he has to burn through his regen.
I'm kind of surprised that he didn't take the aggro of the dire creep wave.
Yeah, he would have been in a serious mess of trouble if the dire creep wave was like coming in as he was popping out in range of that tower, and he starts getting like body blocked, and yeah, that's a or if the Wraith King had mana for a stun. But he probably, especially during the pause, probably made that read and was like, oh, he doesn't have a stun, I can dive, I won't be punished too heavily. Still, in my mind, wasn't worth it because now he's out of regen. once the Wraith King, which he's about to, has enough mana for a stun, and he gets the Disruptor in his lane, they can actually go for a kill now against the Gyro.
And the greed is real from a Doombringer. And we're going to see a hand of Midas build coming in with the... See if he can survive for long enough to get that amount of money. Devour definitely helps him on that path. But right now they've also taken out the stack, so Dazzle's not ready to come and help out his teammate. And you've got the Earthshaker, who initially TP'd into the mid lane, but this Observer Ward, the dive put in the mid lane, saw the TP coming. So so Jed was fine. Jed had all the space in the world. But he is being watched now by the Radiant Observer Ward. But he's perfectly alright there.
The mid lane is going very well.
Are you talking for the Storm?
Yeah, if he actually gets this kill on the Leshrac, oh, this is going to be so big.
With the poison touchies too. Oh, wait! He didn't finish the job. The poison, and now, oh, committal was not real. He thought he had it, and he backed up.
Yeah. The probably like 1 second of regeneration that he got from the rune, and then the bottle heal. Good enough. Wraith King.
He's actually initiating, but the Earthshaker's here. Now, Circus throwing out his stump. The Fissure blocks the Wraith King on the wrong side. And it looks like we've got ourselves a haste rune time for the Leshrac. The Clip's going to drag Raven back down again. He's got a Storm Jump. Couldn't get on top of the hillside.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate. He was winning his lane prior to that gank in the middle lane. Then they came just like 10 damage from actually killing the Leshrac on top of him already winning his lane. And because he doesn't manage to do that, all of a sudden things turn around and he dies to the hasted Leshrac, and now he's the one behind. Despite the fact that he was doing incredibly well, his CS was really good for going up against a Leshrac. Very impressed with how he was able to pick up so much.
I still want to see what this Doombringer does, man. When does he even become effective? Like, you're running a hand of Midas now on the Doom. So, do you look at getting Blink Dagger into your Doom? Or do you just say, I run Midas, I run Devour, and you just get some huge-ass items that stop any kind of damage, so you just get tanky?
I like Blink Dagger on Doom when you're faced up, like you're supposed to be a hard counter to a certain hero. So I would really enjoy the Blink Dagger Shiva's like Aghanim's build. Oh, Wraith King, he almost loses his ultimate. Of course, he's willing to lose his ultimate if he can get off the Wraith Fire Blast and slow down the Gyrocopter. And they could probably try and go for the kill. Or not. Or they'll just throw the ultimate and Wraith King will lose his ult.
And they want to go for more. The Fissure block is perfect.
No, this is not good.
It locks 2 in, and with the Flat Cannon damage, Sire is low. The support comes in from the Dark Siren, and they actually isolate the Gyrocopter. You still got Shallow Grave available, so they pick up the Disruptor. No more Fissures available, however, and this Gyrocopter needs another heal, and they're going to get it with a Rocket Barrage. The Naga Siren's dropping quickly. The Totem Stomp was available from Lucky, but the Gyro will get away with the Murder and the heavy rotation force.
Oh, how did they get that? Gyrocopter is such a hero. He's so fast. Like, that's the thing, is Gyrocopter with Rocket Barrage, like, it's such an OP ability, but it's coupled with the fact that Gyrocopter's, like, innately a pretty fast hero, and then he goes movement speed items as well. In this case, he went Phase Boots, right? So he got that Shallow Grave and then just got ahead of everyone. The Darkseer was being body blocked by a melee creep. In a situation that 9 times out of 10, you should have been punished. You should have lost your Gyrocopter and probably not gotten a kill for it. The combination of Dazzle and Gyrocopter allows him to be able to get the kill and walk away.
I love how the Doombringer, he went looking for a new creep and one spawned up there. A Centaur. The one useless creep.
Yeah.
Like, he handed Midas the big Centaur to try and find some levels, and then just devoured the Minotaur.
Yeah, the creep's even worse. Like, it used to be an okay creep, like, once you had Blink Dagger and stuff, but now it doesn't even have the aura. So it's like, it is 100%, you're right, the worst creep to get in lane, in the laning phase. Later on, it's, you know, the stun is good.
It's almost better to devour the ghoul.
Yeah, to get a creep with no aura 2 times in a row.
And now he's coming over to have another look.
Oh, Hellbear Smasher.
It's like, oh, okay.
The worst of the auras.
Is it worth it for the Swiftness aura to give up? Yeah, it is. He does have the clap, which comes with it, so he gets the ability. But Doombringer, like, this is why you never really also, like, you think about the mech over on Doom, but his mana pool is so piss poor that if you get the mech, you instantly want to make sure you can get to the Greaves directly after. Like, that's gotta happen.
Yeah, you know, honestly, he's been really unlucky because there's also the small camp that spawns.
They're going to get top. The glimpse back, though, makes it impossible to initiate.
If the troll healer spawns, that's a great creep to take because it gives you mana regeneration. And especially in a lane that you're dealing with a lot of harassment from Ion Shell, the heal is very efficient.
He has a Wild Wing this time. The Wild Wing spawned up. It's still the far camp he's going to walk over to, but the Wild Wing spawned up.
Still, TNC, like, no matter what sort of, like, craziness happens in the top lane.
We probably should have flagged the fact, too, the Storm Spirit's got a solo kill on the Leshrac.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. Too busy looking at Doombringer farm up.
Yeah, so he wins that. Ooh, they're going to glimpse him back. Gyrocopter might die here.
That's a very long glimpse, so they'll get the ensnare, but then he turns into a call down with the Rocket Barrage. Nagasaran has that Iron Shell, which is not making this an easy fight for him, but with Lucky moving in with the Fisher, they keep the Darkseer out, and Storm Spirit jumps over. He's looking for the Darkseer and gets the Vortex drag back after he went for the search, but the mana is out for Raven. There's nothing more to give, so he'll just TP out to safety, and Leshrac with a stun doesn't throw it out. Actually abandoned it after he realized he was too late. And the Doombringer's going for a BKB build by the looks of it, unless this is meant to be SMY or Albert Doom.
It could be the SNY. It's a very popular item because stats is first and foremost in everybody's minds. Plus, the movement speed is really nice on a hero that already, like, for example, Gyrocopter, again, like, he plays off of movement speed so well. So that's why you usually see not only the drums, but also the SNY. The stats are great. The movement speed is also really good when you're able to kind of double down on that advantage that you have. And I think Doom, something similar, right? Scorched Earth gives you a pretty decent movement speed buff. If you were to go for the SNY, you'd be able to keep up with pretty much everyone. Like, even the heroes that get surged, you're going to be slower than them, but not by much. So I wouldn't mind the SNY builds. BKB first, I feel, is unnecessary on a hero that's already going to do well. If anything, like, I would prefer Blink first. If he really wants to challenge the Leshrac like a lot, he can go for the Blade Mail as well as targeting him with Doom. So even if Leshrac...
It's an Axe build.
Oh, he's going Axe first. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Unless it's a casual point booster, it looks like an Axe build instead.
Yeah, I forgot about the Aghanim Scepter. A lot of people really like the Aghanim Scepter first because the stats going into it is really nice. I just forgot about it because if you go Ags, you usually see point booster first. But
yeah, that's the reason too why I didn't think about it either. Like, the Oak Club just made it a little bit more weird. So now the Doombringer's going to go into the jungle. They give the Gyro space in the bottom lane to finish up his drums. The Storm Spirit's currently hunting birds. Would have been worth it. That actually had bottle and boots on it. But they're going to TP up to the top lane now, the Gyro Cup. So, okay, that space on bottom lane, which he did have, he gives up almost instantly after. And they bring in more support with the Dazzle as well. I think grouping up for a fight?
I think so. I expected Raven to start rotating because he had...
The track too far up. He's going to get... Oh, no, the block! It didn't hit! Cooldown's still going to be there. And with the Disruptor ulti, he can't even get one basic attack in. Dazzle's trying to reach him, but they won't get there in range. The Storm Spirit will kill off the Naga in the meantime in the mid lane. As the Disruptor will eventually go down to the Dazzle. The Fisher... Oh! Missed it by that much.
That would have been a great kill for him to have. Like, shutting down the Leshrac is so important, but then on top of that, like, Earthshaker already has his arcane boots. That would be a great jump up for him to start working towards that Blink Dagger. Still, though, the Storm Spirit got yet another kill. He's feeling that he's far enough ahead that he will be able to go for the Bloodstone build, and I agree with him. He did really well in his lane. Very impressed what Raven was able to get out of that. And then on top of that, he's found a number of kills since then.
Red Team's coming back down this bot lane, but Earthshaker's already ready for him. So if they want to initiate, like, maybe now is time to finally... I haven't seen Doom cast once. I don't know if he's trying to save it for a rainy day. Or until Aghanim's day. But there's a lot of heroes that are moving now down to bottom lane. The Nagasaran's going to join them. The Lashrac's still hovering around mid. But the Darkseer arrives down here. So that they are really trying to kill off this Bringer. And the vision from that Radiant Observer Wall doesn't see anything yet.
Radiant's middle
And they're
tower
losing their
has been
towers. Like, the mid tower gets denied.
This is not a good idea.
And they actually bring in the Gyro as
so
well.
tanky, and they
There's
have-
some of the vision from Lucky. Echo's saying to follow up. He doesn't actually already use the totem, but then in comes Storm Spirit too. The Naga Song trying to buy some space, but he died so quickly that the Naga Song was actually useless. The Doom's on the Dark Seer as well, so he cannot, well, he can't surge away. The Meg Charge is there, but with the extra fish into a Rocket Barrage, they lose 3.5 heroes. About to try and add an extra half to make it 4. That's the second life for the Wraith King. And then into the bottom tower, TNC. They really arrived at the perfect time to counter Team B's fight.
It's usually pretty easy from an observer perspective to be able to call bad fights, but I feel like that was one of those that should have been obvious to B team as well. If there were any TPs available on TC, like even just one TP, one hero, one support, the diving into the Doom is a bad idea. And sure enough, like the moment they start going for the Doom, there's immediate TP reactions. Lucky was in a great position, obviously. Like, that was very fortuitous for TNC that he got that double Fisher Echo Slam, but it still was just a bad fight for B Team to take no matter what. In that bit of luck taken away, it still would have been TNC winning the fight quite handedly. I mean, did you see the Doom? He was tanking up the Tier 1 tower, and he still did not drop below half HP. Like, if you just leave a Doom alone for this long, and he has a Midas as well, his strength gain per level is pretty decent. 3.2 is, you know, pretty good stuff, right? And he has a level advantage over you, plus he has this pretty good strength gain per level. Like, he's going to be a tanky beast. And then on top of that, he already started building into his Aghanim Scepter, so we already had the Oak Club and the Point Booster.
So much survivability from him and the Scorched Earth. And there's more money that's going to come in. Like, you finish up the Aghanims now, but he's sitting at 8k net worth. He is actually in front of the Latrax net worth at the moment. And it's like, Latrax is meant to be the king of this. Like, he gets involved in a whole bunch of fights. Then you're meant to be able to flash farm every lane you ever want to go to. But he can't keep up with the Doombringer that's running a Hand of Midas as well as Devour uncontested on the bottom lane. And even Gyro's going to start finding his money too. Building into that Yacha, Storm Spirit finished up a full Bloodstone. The Earthshaker is now 1.1k gold away from having his Blink Dagger. And this dad actually got crap tons of money, having Arcane Boots, a full Magic Wand, his own private bottle, as well as an urn. The life regen coming into TNC is good. Like, you talk about Doombringer not dropping below half life, when he's got a Dazzle behind him as well. And the normal issue of the Doombringer where he doesn't have armor, this gets repaired by the Dazzle.
Yeah. Look at this. The smoke was spotted out by a very aggressive ward from TNC right in front of that Tier 2 tower. And this rotation, I mean, they're going to get the Tier 1 tower at the bottom lane for it, but the trade-off is they already lost their middle tower, top and middle lane are going to push into the Tier 2s. It's not a valuable trade-off. They really needed to pick off on the Gyrocopter. Also notice the Gyrocopter's build. He's not going the Sage first, which is usually what people go for nowadays. He's going for the Yacha. And this, to me, says that Gyrocopter feels so comfortable with the pace of this game that he's going to go for the greedier, far more damage-oriented build of SNY by going Yasha first, rather than the much more stable Sage build, which bolsters your pretty limited HP pool.
Well, why would you have confidence when your Doombringer can tank everything and you've also got a Dazzle behind you?
Yeah, exactly. Like, he knows he's got that big tanky frontliner that is going to be able to create space for him, so the movement speed, the damage, everything that Yasha gives him is probably going to be more valuable because he's simply just not going to be a target. Like, he might be ganked by a smoke or something like that, but that's going to happen. When it comes to actual team fights, Doom will create space for him. And speaking of creating space, you also have Lucky, who's about to finish up the Blink Dagger. That will mean even more initiating power.
I'm actually wondering, okay, so Lucky was in a great position during the last fight. Once he's got that Blink Dagger, he's going to be in a great position every up against B. Like, the Song of the Siren, it was really unfortunate, though, for Team B that the Song of the Siren timing happened the way it did, where he ended up dying the second he cast it. So there was no way to get out of it at all. Like, get anything out of it. And now they 5-man smoke up. They're moving down to the bottom lane to try and kill off the Earthshaker. Now, they may stop his Blink Dagger, but the Dazzle is going to actually reveal out the fact Disruptor is here. And then they're not sure about Lucky, so Lucky jukes it around the tree line, gets the double stun on the Fissure. He's still going to end up dying here, and the Song of the Siren trying to keep the rest of TNC out. You got the Doombringer on the front lines. The Static Storm is available. They already get the Doom on the track. The ulti from Disruptor took way too long to get down. The Darcy will back in, but the wall doesn't control them at all. And with the Jericho to Fly Cannon, they rip through 3 of the heroes. About to be more as the Doombringer, well, he is dragged back in again, looking for space, but there it is with the Dazzle coming in, and he throws the Urn to kill off the Naga Siren. They move over to kill the Wraith King off a second time, and the Doombringer on 20 life is capable of surviving. The Disruptor try to throw out both the Lightning as well as the Urn charge. It wasn't enough. The wall will go, but he has to stay in his own grave area. It is a complete team wipe for the death of the Earthshaker.
I mean, Toby, you know that phrase, right? Everybody does, about the definition of insanity. Repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. B team just tried to go on the Doom again. Like, yeah, you gotta pick off on the Earthshaker, that's great, but you're trying to go on a Doom right next to their 2-2 tower.
They thought they had enough. They actually thought they had enough.
There was no way. I mean, they actually had like an amazing, like they had a 3-man vacuum. Like, that was good. And it wasn't even close.
I'm still going to flag, though, there was one thing which didn't work right. It was the Disruptor ulti. If he threw that down, Leshrac would never have been doomed.
Yeah.
You would have actually had the damage thing coming out. The Leshrac, the Doombringer would have actually been controlled, because the other problem was you never got the ulti off. Okay, Leshrac definitely finding a solid kill on the top lane.
Miscommunication. That is miscommunication 101. Earthshaker's like, I'm going in, I'm blowing everything on him. And Gyrocopter's like, nope.
So the call down was meant to be an escape mechanism. Now Raven, though, might be able to find this pick off and drag Leshrac down with the Bloodstone charges. The Glimmer Cape giving him some space away. But then another Static Remnant blows, and they realize, okay, there's no reason to Doom. They just ensure the kill. But that Disruptor never got his ulti off, which means he never also got the wall follow-up. He used it earlier, and...
Raven?
I don't know.
Bloodstone Suicide?
Dazzle's here, and he has to Shallow Grave before he gets pulled back. And Raven just jumps away. So how much of a blow to try and kill off Raven? Yeah, he'll actually end up surviving. While the call down and the Doom on the Darkseer, there's no surging away from this. The wall will at least do its work. And Raven does survive to fight another day. The Disruptor will not be so lucky. There's your level death from the Doombringer. So both Darkseer as well as Disruptor going down.
I was like, why did Raven do that? Like, he just expended a bunch of mana, like all of his mana on a ball lightning jump that wasn't even close to the Disruptor, and I realized all he cared about, he was just trying to get in range of the death of the Disruptor to get one more Bloodstone charge. That's what he was doing. He's already got 15.
Worth it. So this is Leshrac's way of initiating Glimmer Cape into a Split Earth. I suppose it's one way to do it.
It's not
the most efficient way to do it.
It's not going to be very good. I mean, you have to get so lucky. Glimmer Cape, I know. A lot of Earthshaker, I played around with the Glimmer Cape on him. You have to get so lucky to be able to get successful Glimmer Cape initiations. It just doesn't last long enough. Which is, you know, it should be an initiating item. Really shouldn't. In fact, if anything, they should nerf that item. That item's duration. I think it's a second too long.
Well, you'll have to wait for the next patch.
Soon.
I don't know. Like they said, no more patches for the current client. I think we're still
Reborn soon.
I think we're still like 2 weeks away, because we try to ship our items with that wonderful ticket which you should be able to buy in the store. Can buy it in the store, so go buy it in the store. It starts with the D, ends with the fence. But yeah, we can't ship items for 2 weeks.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm sorry, the way you put that.
Alright,
I'm just imagining a fence full of D's.
No!
Anyway, BKB on Storm Spirit is unstoppable now.
Dire's structures are fortified.
That Latrak's gonna be really careful. Yeah, you talk about the Storm Spirit being unstoppable. When that Earthshaker jumps in, gets the initial stun, then Storm Spirit goes to town. They take a tier 2 tower without any kind of reaction from Team B. And TNC then just draw a line and say, well, okay, boys, like, we got that. Let's take out the bottom tier 2 tower. It means Team B can never jump themselves in to try and defend against Roshan if they decide to go in for that as well. They have enough survivability, like the tankability of a Doombringer right now. He's got 2.1k life. And it's about to finish up his BKB once he can minus as well as Devour again. And that's also a level 3 Doom with the Aghanims upgrade. I actually think that's the instant death of the Darkseer. Like, he actually dies no matter what. Denied or killed, he will still die from a level 3 Doom with Aghanims upgrade.
Yeah.
And if Latrak decides to try and stand in the fight, he also will die. I'm just seeing death. Like, if I'm a fortune teller, all I see is death for Team B at the moment.
B team should not be going anywhere near.
There's Storm jumping in. He found the Darkseer and actually tried to, in fact, does dodge the stun. The Song of the Siren will come out, but the cooldown is making it difficult for Team B to get in position. But they'll still get a good ulti. But where these BKBs not really there, the back wall doing some work with a Track Pulse Nova. But where's that extra mana? He's completely bone dry. The Doombringer will die, but in comes Jericho Slam from Lucky. He'll get a double kill, looking for the triple. Raven just goes to work. He'll ball lightning himself up. He's losing teammates left, right, and center. But he's also doing it all by himself. The reincarnation pop from the Rage King. Support is there from the Naga Siren. And where's the shallow grave?
Oh, that should have been a kill on the Wraith King, and Storm Spirit would have gotten out.
Here I am.
He instantly respawns, though, because of the amount of Bloodstone charges he's got, but Dazzle was waiting there with a shallow grave, but he wasn't ready for the crit from the Wraith King.
Well played by B team. I mean, that was the perfect fight for them. And it still turned out to be a 4-for-4 exchange, which, in my opinion, should have been a 5-for-3.
I think that they lost more because of the buyback. Like they still bought back on the Naga Siren as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe they lost 4.
They definitely lost 5 now with the Wraith King dead.
The Wraith King now died.
Yeah, what was that?
But yeah, I mean, it was the best fight that you could have taken under these circumstances. Like, a 14,000 gold lead by 27 minutes. You can't do better than that. So it's something. It gets them a certain amount of golds. Unfortunately,
I think they're going to try and do better than that. Latrak Glimmercave's not going to last it much longer. Raven's not ready to fight that, okay? Maybe he is ready to fight this. He's jumping in, triggers the BKB. The Yule set the protection from the Latrak going to go for now, but in comes the Doombringer, triggers the Doom, so Latrak is dead. Doom will be glimpsed away, but the Storm Spirit just keeps going for it. He's going ham with also the help from the heal. They back him back into a nice wall, but the cooldown's there with the Vigil. Lucky gets a double totem stun, and the B team, they lose everything again.
Storm Spirit's like, what Bloodstone charges lost? I don't know what you're talking about. Right back up to 18 again. He's got an Orchid now, alongside his BKB.
Yeah, they just go ham.
Well, B team once again have one last fight in them, but it's hard to see how they'll be able to win it, because this time around they're... Oh, never mind. There's still no BKB for the Gyrocopter. Oh, never mind.
You take that back, Cap.
All right, it's on its way. It's on its way. So the next team fight, like, even if they do get, like, the magical 5-man Naga Siren Sleep, Vacuum, Wall, Static Storm, etc., it's just going to be met with BKBs from the cores. And I highly doubt that Earthshaker and Dazzle are going to be caught by that combination anyway, because they shouldn't be anywhere close to where their cores are. When it comes to the cores pushing up high ground, they just sit way in the back. Especially, and it's so easy for a Dazzle to do his job at this point.
Oh, you don't want to be fighting this B team! They just jump in, the Doom bleeds over the top of them all! He doesn't have Doom even available, and they're practically before the fight even begins. You've got to slip through the tree line, he will be a deep out, but Wraith King, his second life is only so we can die in second time. Play the tree and it keeps chasing up. 60 nanosecond regeneration! Like,
That's when he's bottling.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
His standard is 43. Yeah,
So, yeah,
23
it's
bloodstone
definitely a
charges.
significant nerf.
Yeah, he still, even at level 20, I think he still insta-respawns. Which is absurd. Like, you have to have so... Like, once you start getting past, like, level 16, you have to have so many bloodstone charges to instantly respawn. Because, like, the generic rule for bloodstone is that you have to have as many charges as you do levels. But leveling past, like, level 16, your death timer grows dramatically more. Or in comparison to the, you know, the bloodstone charge.
Song of the Siren. They got Storm Spirit isolated, but the problem is they can't isolate both. They move so far over. Storm can just beak himself up, go for it. Storm to disrupt, they just snap, but no cooldown gonna go to work too. They just flag cannon it up, rocket barrage, whatever they can, and Storm Spirit can't kill the Dark. Back to best. And they get there on Raven. He's still got a little bit more of a jump. He still takes the Immortal. Seems to find the kill. Like, you buy a rod, you disrupt. You're gonna kill now. And TNC have actually left him for dead. So Storm, the Storm EKP, he's stuck here.
Bloodstone. And instant respawn. Sure. He's back.
I thought for a moment he managed to TP out to save me. I realized, wait, no, it's just a Bloodstone suicide. And now Track finds no... Well, sort of. It's the Doombringer with Doom that just came back off cooldown. He could have blinked forward to go into it, but now...
This could be a really good fight for B team.
Until the Doom is then triggered, and Raven's back to the fight again. So his charges are coming back again. This Wraith King is hoping to deny himself in a moment. Not going to be possible. Doom will find the kill, and Raven finds another one over on the Naga Siren.
Alright, never mind. They just didn't have any of their abilities up yet.
Where's the Storm? He's not jumping yet.
Yeah. Because that Storm Spirit made a jump from, like, the hard left side of the map all the way into the enemy jungle to try and catch the Leshrac initially. So he used a lot of mana. I was going to say, like, there's no BKB charge. Like, he just... Well, he didn't buy back. He insta-respawned. But you could actually kill the Storm Spirit and put him down for a little while if you had the ability to single-target focus him. But they didn't have Static Storm up yet, and that was the problem.
We have a Demon Edge now arriving for the Gyro. Doombringer has a Refresher Orb sitting in his stash. At this point, I wouldn't put it past to run past the towers and pick it up from the Dire Shop. Because he doesn't have Doom up right now. Jump in and they bait the Disruptor ulti out. That's actually huge, because now Raven can do whatever the hell he wants to. If he's going to BKB, which he will, they find one pick off, and yeah, there it is. Doombringer walks in, up his Refresher Orb, and then has the extra support from the Gyrocopter. You can try and back him into a wall, but the wall never even arrived. They kill up the Darkseer. They'll look for another one as well over on the Wraith King, and the Echo Slam jump up with the Fissure. They're going to go to town, and right now, though, they've taken over the town of B Team. The Yule Scepter up will just buy time for the Storm Spirit, and they're killing him off inside the base. The Shelliger to get the Gyrocopter alive. It's all five under the fountain of the B Team. GG! The Gyrocopter at least pops from the Leshrac, but that's going to be like the bittersweet symphony right now.
I was going to say, we learned from game number 1, the B team is very much willing to, like, play out the game, but if that doesn't force you to GG out, I don't know what will. Like, you just got 5-man wiped underneath your own fountain.
Yeah, that's going to put...
You could tell TNC has had experience with fountain diving, too, by the way. That was...